Florence Scovel Shinn Mirror Ritual. The door appears the moment you say the word. In this very breath, the Florence Scovel Shinn Mirror Ritual is not superstition, not a trick of wishful thinking, but a path of faith, spoken word, and right action. And as you listen, the Florence Scovel Shinn Mirror Ritual will begin to move, not out there, but inside you, where identity becomes decree and decree becomes reality. Imagine this, a room lit by first light. Dust dances like silent constellations. You stand before a rectangle of glass that has watched you for years and never been seen. It has no incense, no golden frame, no choir, only your reflection, and the ancient law Florence loved to repeat in a dozen ways. Life answers the word you send. Listen carefully. The mirror is not furniture. It is a threshold. When you speak before it with faith, the air changes. Your voice enters the unseen, and the unseen answers with form. Call it divine supply. Call it the law of success. Call it intuition obeying infinite intelligence. The name doesn't matter. The alignment does. And alignment begins with the identity you dare to declare. There is a paradox here. Most people chase prosperity as though it were a fleeing animal. They petition, they plead, they rehearse scarcity with the discipline of monks. They say, I never have enough. Money slips away. Opportunities aren't for me. These are not throwaway lines. They are invisible contracts. A single sentence, carelessly spoken, can lock a door for years. What if the delay wasn't absence, but calibration? Florence would smile at that question. She knew that the universe does not obey panic. It obeys word power with faith. The right word in the right spirit is a key in a lock that never rusts. That's why we return to the mirror, not to perform, but to align. You're not trying to convince reality. You're becoming the version of you reality has been waiting to meet. Breathe. Place one hand on your heart. This is not about noise. It's about authority without strain, about the simple, scandalous shift from begging to receiving. Early comment invitation. Stay in the moment. Type in the comments, I receive now. Keep listening. Keep breathing. Let the mirror hear you think. You've heard that faith moves mountains, but Florence adds the missing line. Faith speaks, and then it steps into right action. The spoken word is not decoration, it is causation. Your phrase is a seed, and the mirror, through some wild collusion of biology and spirit, becomes fertile ground. Neuroscience whispers of mirror neurons. Scripture whispers of, it is done unto you as you believe. Different tongues, one law. Perhaps you're skeptical. Good, that means you're awake. Skepticism is a locked gate. Curiosity is a hinge. Try this experiment for 7 mornings. Stand before the mirror, let your spine rise as though pulled by light, and speak in present identity. Not I hope, not one day. Speak as heir, not as beggar. Notice how your voice thickens with certainty, how your shoulders reorganize, how your face remembers dignity. That shift in posture is not theatrics. It's a message to your nervous system that the future has arrived. But what if the word felt dangerous? What if the right sentence threatened to end the comfort of your old limits? Listen. This next part is where everything changes. The mirror does not negotiate with your history. It reflects your now. If your now is draped in lack, it will echo that lack without protest. If your now is clothed in divine order, it will carry that order like sunlight across a floor. The difference is not luck, it's identity declared out loud. The difference is a single sacred word that Florence's students whispered with trembling at first and thunder later. I receive. Not I beg, which implies distance. Not I wish, which postpones. Not I deserve, which argues. But I receive, which accepts what God within has already provided in the invisible. Say it slowly. Feel how the syllables unlock the chest. I receive. In the mirror, That phrase is not a caption, it is a decree. It tells your mind to look for alignment. It invites intuition to guide your steps. It gives right action a green light. It opens the gate where prosperity, health, and love have been waiting like patient travelers, ticket in hand. But what if you've been practicing a different ritual all along and didn't know it? Every complaint is a mirror ritual in disguise. Every dramatic retelling of lack is an incantation with results. If ordinary words create ordinary consequences, imagine what a consecrated word creates, spoken with faith, framed by the mirror, warmed by breath. Here is the law: identity first, then evidence. You will see it when you be it. In a moment, you'll see why Florence called this the door that never shuts. Let's name the terrain. There are two characters in this story, and both are you. One lives as a beggar consciousness, eyes to the ground, bargaining with life, making scarcity a personality. The other walks as an heir, quiet spine, steady breath, grateful hands. The beggar asks permission. The heir receives. Which one steps before the glass each morning? If you would change your world, change who faces the mirror. The beggar says, "Will I ever be chosen?" The heir says, "I choose alignment with divine supply." The beggar asks for a sign. The heir becomes one. And because this isn't fairy tale but practice, the heir also takes right action, sends the email, applies with clarity, learns the skill, forgives the wound, tidies the desk, answers intuition quickly. The mirror ritual does not replace movement, it organizes it. It arranges your steps to match your decree. Let's sharpen the blade. The decree before the mirror is short, simple, sovereign. You don't pile up words to make them heavy, you choose fewer words to make them true. Try this. I receive divine supply now. I move by intuition and right action. My spoken word is law under grace. Feel how those lines hold you upright without strain. There's no shouting. Authority doesn't shout. It stands. But what about proof? Where are the stories? They exist in every city, in every decade. The bill paid impossibly on the last day. The phone call from a company whose system just surfaced your name. The apology that arrived like rain over a summer fire. Are these coincidences? Perhaps. But in the tongue of faith, coincidence is what we call the choreography of the unseen. What if your delay is the exact timing that protects your harvest? There's a deeper layer, one Florence hinted at often. The mirror multiplies whatever you bring to it. This is why she warned against speaking from greed or fear. The decree is not a spell to bend others. It is a permission slip to become your truest self. Prosperity without harmony corrodes. Harmony without prosperity hides. The law she taught balances both. Abundance in right relationship, with God within, with purpose, with people. So we practice with clean hands. Before we speak, we release resentment, comparison, the thrill of victimhood, the secret comfort of not yet. Then we declare, and then we act in line with what we've declared. Word, alignment, movement. This is the trinity of manifestation Florence would recognize. If you're ready to live this truth, not just hear it, join the 21-day challenge to create your dream life. Link below. For 21 dawns, you will stand in the same spot, before the same glass, and author the same identity with your voice. Day by day, you will watch resistance lose its camouflage. Now return with me to that room. The quiet is different now. The mirror is listening. I receive abundance now. I receive prosperity in harmony. I receive perfect health and right relationships. I receive guidance, and I act. Speak it once with reverence. Speak it twice with steadiness. Speak it a third time the way a king signs a treaty, without apology. Then move through your day as the kind of person those words belong to. Make the call. Decline the misaligned. Tidy the numbers. Answer the idea that keeps tapping your shoulder. Faith without movement is a bird with one wing. But what if you feel nothing? What if you stand there and your mind screams fraud? Here is the secret. Feelings follow formation. Your voice builds the room your emotions will live in. Keep building. The mind learns by repetition what the spirit knew from the start. What if the mirror wasn't proving your worth, only reflecting it? An advanced path for those who love symbols, the 7-day sealing. Choose one decree, no more than 2 lines. Morning and night for 7 days, speak it before the mirror. On the 7th night, write it on paper and surrender it to flame, safely of course. As the page curls into light, whisper, "Under grace in perfect ways." You are not trying to force timing, you are consenting to timing. You are not pushing the river, you are stepping into its current. Why 7? It's not superstition, it's rhythm. 7 gathers a week into a circle. It teaches your nervous system a new song, and the mirror remembers melodies. Let's ground this with the gentle realism Florence admired. There will be mornings when the world feels heavy. On those mornings, reduce your decree to a single breath. I receive. That's it. 3 syllables, a doorway. Walk through. Then take the smallest right action you can find. Reply to 1 email, send 1 portfolio, apologize once, drink 1 glass of water, save $1, choose 1 nourishing food, make 1 phone call you've postponed. As you move, say inside, I receive. Let movement become echo. Faith isn't a performance, it's a posture. Intuition isn't a rumor, it's a compass. Divine supply isn't a jackpot, it's a flow you join with your word and your walk. If the mirror could speak back, what new name would it give you today? Now we arrive at the spine of this teaching, the line the beggar finds offensive and the heir finds obvious. Life treats you according to identity, not desire. Desire without identity is a movie you never step into. Identity spoken, believed, and lived becomes inevitable. So choose. Will you approach your reflection as petitioner or partner? Will you carry scarcity like an heirloom, or will you lay it down and lift your eyes? The mirror will not argue. It will agree with whoever stands before it. If you choose the heir, your language shifts from "is there enough?" to "divine supply is present and I align." From "will I be chosen?" to "I move in right action toward what already bears my name." From "one day I'll have it" to "I receive in peace now." And your life, slowly at first, and then suddenly, begins to echo the new decree. Unexpected openings, an email answered after months of silence, a doctor's report softened by good news, a conversation mended, a budget balanced, a night of sleep that arrives like mercy. These are not miracles to be hoarded. They are signs that your word has gone out and not returned empty. But what if the greatest miracle isn't the money or the message? What if it's the you who speaks this way now? Before we rise into the final ignition, let's stitch this together with Florence's 4 pillars: faith, spoken word, divine order, right action. Faith. Not a mood, but a decision to agree with God within. Spoken word. Short, clean, confident, said in the present tense. Divine order. Refuse the frantic timeline. Choose under grace. Right action. Move in the direction your decree implies. Hold them like coordinates. The mirror is your compass rose. If your heart is pounding a little, good. That's the sound of old contracts loosening. They were loud. You were loyal to them for years. But loyalty to lack is not virtue. Your devotion belongs elsewhere now, to harmony, to purpose, to generosity, to the quiet authority of someone who knows that prosperity is more than numbers. It is breath, clarity, enoughness, overflow with direction. If you're ready to practice, not postpone, join the 21-day challenge to create your dream life. The link is below. We'll do this together. Word, mirror, movement. And now, listen. The last door is opening. Return to the glass. The room is the same. You are not. You stand taller because truth lifts. The world outside has not yet rearranged, but the world inside has, so the outside must follow. That is the law, not a threat, a promise. Speak. I receive divine supply now. I receive the right ideas and the courage to act. I receive perfect love in right relationship. I receive radiant health and calm strength. I receive opportunities perfectly timed under grace. As you speak, picture what receiving does, how it looks, how it chooses, how it spends, how it forgives. Receiving is not hoarding, it's circulation. It makes you generous. It clarifies your no and dignifies your yes. It upgrades your standards without hardening your heart. And then, this matters, live as one who has received. The heir does not apologize for answered prayer. The heir does not shrink to make others comfortable. The heir blesses, creates, employs, supports, repairs, builds, saves, and shares. The heir recognizes that prosperity without purpose is just storage. With purpose, it becomes river. Can you feel the current? What if the next door opens the moment you treat one small thing like it's already yours? You are not performing a trick. You are remembering a law. Your word is the wand. Your breath is the bell. Your reflection is the witness. And the universe, already rich with possibility, organizes around the identity you refuse to betray. So we finish as we began, not with an ending, but with a scent. No summary, no farewell, just the live wire of a truth that keeps unfolding. The mirror is the altar. The word is the key. The heir is awake. I receive. If this truth stirred something deep, stay close. The next revelation is already unfolding. Listen, the current is stronger now. You're beginning to notice small rearrangements, the way strangers treat you, the way choices appear like stepping stones you hadn't seen. This is what happens when the inside stops negotiating and the outside falls in line. Not magic that violates order, but divine order revealing itself through right timing, right people, right doors. You don't have to force it. You have to remain it. Return to the mirror one more time in your mind. The surface is still. Your breath is calm. You are not asking reality to change first. You are consenting to who you've already become. This is the essence of Florence's teaching. Identity spoken with faith becomes experience under grace. What if the future you keep waiting for is simply waiting for you? A truth becomes permanent when it learns to walk. So let the decree leave the mirror and enter your footsteps. Morning, before noise. Stand tall, shoulders back as if a gentle hand lifts your crown. Look into your own eyes. No flinching, no scanning for flaws. Declare, slow, sovereign, present tense. I receive divine supply now. I move by intuition and right action. My word goes out and returns fulfilled, under grace. Seal with silence, 10 seconds of stillness to let the words seat in the body. One aligned act. Choose the smallest step that proves the decree true. Send the pitch, open the spreadsheet, schedule the call, forgive the name, file the application. Noon, when pace is high. Whisper a one-breath reset. I receive. Ask one question to your intuition. What's the next right action? Then obey the first, clear, peaceful instruction. Peace is the tell. Night, before sleep reopens the workshop of the mind. Face the mirror again, softer now. I receive restoration. I receive rest. I release striving. Write one gratitude tied to evidence of alignment, even if tiny. Evidence is fertilizer. This is not performance. This is practice. The beggar performs to be seen. The heir practices to be aligned. What would shift if the smallest brave action you've been avoiding happened before sunset? Every path has ditches. Florence warned her students gently but firmly. Here are the common traps and the countersigns that lift you back onto the road. 1. The trap of drama. You decree in the morning, then narrate chaos by noon. You scroll, compare, tell 3 friends how hard it all is. Countersign. Quiet authority. Reduce words when fear spikes. Repeat. Under grace, in perfect ways. Short, calm sentences starve drama of oxygen. 2. The trap of bargain. You try to negotiate with the law. If I declare perfectly, then life will... That is control wearing a spiritual costume. Countersign. Consent. Speak your decree, then add, I consent to divine order. Control clenches. Consent opens. 3. The trap of isolation. You keep everything private out of shame or fear of being cringe. The river shrinks when it stops flowing. Countersign. Circulation. Give something away daily. Attention, skill, money, encouragement. Prosperity breathes in giving and receiving. Micro-practice. Put one bill on auto-give, even a small amount, to a mission that blesses others. Say, I receive, therefore I circulate. If prosperity is a river, what needs to move today so the water doesn't go stale? Picture a house you're inheriting. Most live on the porch of desire. The air walks through rooms. Room 1, identity. I receive. Stand here until your posture changes. The door opens inward. Room 2, idea. I receive the right idea. Prosperity often arrives as an instruction, not an invoice. Ideas are angels disguised as verbs. Call, draft, fix, learn, release, launch, apologize, request. Room 3, implementation. I receive courage for right action. Here you practice with humble speed. Send the portfolios, update the resume, learn the software, clean the workspace, organize the debt plan under grace. Courage is a muscle that strengthens when used within 24 hours of intuition. Room 4, increase. I receive increase in harmony. This is where numbers respond. Doors widen, rooms brighten. Guard this room with gratitude and boundaries. Increase without boundaries leaks. Increase with gratitude multiplies. Walk the house daily. Some days you just visit room 1. That's enough. But keep walking. Ownership grows with footsteps. What if the right idea is already knocking, but you're wearing headphones made of worry? Stories that smell like rain. Evidence helps weary hearts breathe again. Not fireworks, footsteps. The designer. She spoke in the mirror. I receive the right clients. Then redesigned her website's first sentence to match her decree. Clear, niche, unafraid. By Friday, 2 inquiries appeared from cities she'd never visited. Coincidence, said her old self. Confirmation, said her new one. The father. He decreed, I receive reconciliation in right timing, and replaced one defensive reply with one listening call. No spotlight moment, just a door that had been bolted for years, now slightly ajar. Air moved again. Grace likes a cracked window. The graduate. He repeated, I receive opportunity under grace, while applying to fewer roles, but better. He turned down an anxious offer, then received the aligned one 2 weeks later, with mentorship built in. Scarcity punishes patience. Abundance rewards discernment. Were these people lucky? Perhaps, but luck is often what alignment looks like from far away. If you acted like your prayer was already answered, what decision would change by morning? You asked for more. Here is a refined pattern, the 7-day seal, for those ready to intensify without strain. Choose one decree only. I receive divine supply for this assignment, or I receive right love in right relationship, or I receive radiant health and guidance. Day 1 to 6, twice daily. Mirror posture. Speak the decree 3 times, each slower than the last. Place a hand over the body area that needs assurance: heart for courage, stomach for peace, throat for truthful speech. Close with, under grace, I move in right action. Day 7, night. Write the decree once on paper. Light a safe flame and say, I surrender timing. I keep identity. Let ashes cool. Return them to soil if possible. Give the decree a home in the earth. This is not superstition, it's choreography. You're teaching your mind that release is part of receiving. Early comment invitation: renewed, simple, specific. Type the word you're sealing for 7 days. One word only. Prosperity, health, reconciliation, purpose. Let the community pray with you without drama. What if letting go of timing is the exact action that accelerates timing? An heir needs fences and gates, not to hoard, but to steward. Time. Schedule sacred minutes you refuse to trade: mirror, prayer, journaling, skill. Treat them like meetings with a king, because they are. Speech. No self-curses in casual talk. Replace "I'm always broke" with "I'm learning to circulate wisely." Replace "I never get a break" with "I receive divine openings." Money. Create 2 lines in your budget labeled Seed and Circulate. Seed is for future creation. Circulate is for blessing now. Small amounts count when you move them with intention. People. Choose proximity carefully. You can love everyone. You cannot host every voice inside your head. Boundaries are not a lack of love. They are a form of it. Which sentence, retired forever from your speech, would free the most oxygen in your life? There will be seasons when your decree feels like a stone skipping over still water. Ripple, silence, doubt. Those are the training grounds where heirs are forged. Do 3 things then. Return to identity. Even if you only say, I receive. Distill the next action to a single brave minute. Refuse the accusation of hurry. Divine order is never frantic. The oak is not late to its height. Quiet seasons are often root seasons. The fruit will be loud enough later. What if the silence isn't rejection, but roots drinking in the dark? Florence never separated prosperity from purpose. Money without mission withers. Mission without money limps. Your decree should feed both. Ask your mirror one question this week. Who benefits when I receive? Answer it out loud. Name faces. Name communities. Prosperity that passes through you multiplies safely. Then add this line to your decree for the next 3 mornings. Make me a distribution point for grace. Watch how ideas arrive that bless beyond your calendar. Who gets brighter when your life turns on all the lights? Return to the mirror one last time tonight, not to check for proof, but to check for posture. The room is the same, the world is still noisy, but you are different. You have graduated from permission to possession, from someday to now. Speak with the courage of someone who finally believes their name is on the deed. I receive divine supply now. I receive the wisdom to steward it well. I receive right relationships, right doors, right timing. I receive ideas that bless many. I receive, under grace, in perfect ways. And as you turn away from the glass, carry the rhythm into your steps. Guard your speech. Choose your company. Circulate the good. Accept the lesson. Build what you've been postponing. Let your days become evidence and your peace become gravity. This is not where it ends. This is where it accelerates. The mirror remains an altar. The decree remains a key. The heir remains awake. I receive. If this awakening rang like a bell inside you, stay close. The next revelation is already pressing against the edge of your life, looking for a voice that dares to speak it. Listen, something in you has already crossed the threshold. The echo of I receive doesn't fade. it expands. Now every ordinary moment is a continuation of the ritual. Brushing your teeth, answering a message, walking through a doorway. Each small act can become a mirror when performed with awareness. That's how heirs live, not by escaping the world, but by sanctifying it. There is no separation between your inner decree and your outer life. Every bill paid on time, every apology offered, every hour of honest work is a continuation of I receive. You are translating spirit into motion. Florence used to say that obedience to intuition is the highest form of faith. The voice within never shouts, it leans close. When you honor that whisper, you move from wishing to partnership with the divine. So when the next idea arrives, quiet, inconvenient, luminous, stop questioning your readiness. You're not being tested, you're being invited. Every divine idea comes with the power to accomplish itself when you agree with it. Your only task is to say yes. What if your next breakthrough is hiding behind the smallest yes you've been postponing? Soon, you won't need the glass. You'll feel the reflection everywhere. On elevator doors, in water puddles, in the eyes of strangers. You'll recognize yourself in everything that shines back peace. That's when you'll know the ritual has become identity. Not I practice abundance, but I am abundance practicing itself. This is the stage Florence called the effortless rhythm, where thought, word, and circumstance begin to move as one choreography. You no longer chase prosperity, you converse with it. Walk gently, but walk tall. You are now the evidence others are praying to see. Every calm decision, every generous gesture, every word that blesses instead of complains, these are mirrors for those still afraid to look at themselves. And when they ask, "How did you change?" you'll smile and answer, "I stopped asking, I started receiving." Write the phrase that feels truest right now, I receive, and complete it in your own words. That's your signature in this invisible covenant. The law of life is continuation. There is no final arrival, only widening circles of understanding. Today you learned that words are contracts. Tomorrow you'll learn that silence is signature too. Eventually, you'll move beyond I receive into I radiate. Because the purpose of abundance isn't possession, it's circulation. What you receive must pass through you to stay alive. Give encouragement, give excellence, give presence, give time. Let your prosperity travel. It knows its way home. Could it be that giving is the final form of receiving? Close your eyes. Feel the space between your breaths, the still chamber where thought hasn't formed yet. That's the true mirror, consciousness before words. From that quiet, whisper, whisper, one last decree, not as a request, but as an acknowledgement of a law already working. I receive because I am aligned. I receive because I am willing. I receive because the divine within me has never stopped giving. The air around you listens. Reality rearranges. 1,000 unseen agreements shift to meet your new vibration. You have not learned a trick, you have remembered a truth. And that truth is eternal. The word spoken in faith becomes flesh under grace. So the journey continues, not as repetition, but as rhythm. Not as ritual, but as remembrance. Every dawn the mirror waits, not to judge, but to testify that you, once a seeker, have become a speaker. That you, once a beggar, have remembered your inheritance. That you, once afraid to ask, now stand unashamed to receive. The altar is within. The decree is alive. The air is eternal. I receive. And as you walk away from this reflection, know this: the universe has already answered. It was just waiting for you to speak first.